is up, Arrow fans? My name is Tommy from ZD Comics, and welcome to my review of Arrow Season 3, Episode 7, Draw Back Your Bow. So, this episode features a new villain titled Cupid. Her real name is Carrie Cutter. Now, Carrie Cutter is pretty much someone you would normally see in, like, Arkham Asylum. She is a little bit crazy. Now, this is my spoiler review. I will get into the spoilers in about a second or so. But anyway, let's talk about Carrie Cutter. So, Carrie Cutter is basically this huge obsession over the Arrow because she was saved during the Deathstroke attack on the city about a year ago in the timeline of this, episode as of right now. So anyway, this episode revolves mostly around Carrie Cutter, who is Cupid. In the comic book, she's Cupid, and in the comic book, she has an obsession over Green Arrow, just like she does in this episode. She does not die in the end of the episode. That's not a spoiler alert, so we could possibly be seeing her in the future. I will talk about where she goes from now on, where is her next step, because we do get a good hint on that, but I will wait to my spoiler review. Anyway, I give this episode only a 6 out of 10, sadly, because it was mostly about just relationship guck and bullcrap like that. I don't mind having relationship stuff. I watch Dexter, and they have a shit ton of that in there. It's just, I don't like the way CW grabs it. It's just, it doesn't interest me that much at all. Anyway, I mean, you got the whole Ray Palmer, Oliver Queen, Felicity Smoke triangle thing, and that's kind of what this episode was all about. And it just was nothing to do with what's going on. I mean, I like this season so far, but I like the stories that are more in-depth and singular towards the fact of maybe one villain. Like, I thought this episode, or sorry, the series was supposed to be all about, like, Ra's al Ghul as the main villain in Season 3, but it hasn't really seemed like that. Now, good guess that the second half of Season 2 is going to be pretty much all about Ra's al Ghul, but it's just like the first half is kind of just like, ugh, whatever, random episode after random episode. Sort of like what Season 1 was with. It's just like, like, why did they throw in Cupid in there? It really had nothing to do with anything. And I don't like that. That's why I give it a 6 out of 10, because it's not really sticking close to a long-lasting story, and 2 is the relationship gook. So let's get into the spoiler review now, because there's so much stuff that was actually good in this episode, but it didn't make the episode better because they were just small little tidbits of Easter eggs that I really enjoyed. So let's get into the spoiler review. Carrie Cutter, or Carrie Cutter Cupid, as you can call her, she is alright. I mean, basically, cool. She has an obsession over Green Arrow. She was saved by him. Yada, yada, yada. She ends up killing a few people that Arrow didn't kill because, that's what grabbed his attention, I guess. And we did see at the end of the last episode, when we first saw her, she ended up killing that guy. I think it was, who was it? Oh, it was like Wildcat's little, sidekick from 5 years back. He killed her, she dressed him up in like an Arrow costume to grab his attention. Yada, yada, yada. Things end up by him basically saving her life again. She's like, oh, we were in love, but she ends up going to the Suicide Squad. Pretty cool. I mean, I guess we got to see her in the Suicide Squad. Now the Suicide Squad has their very own Archer. That's pretty cool. She was a great actor and smoking hot, so I definitely want to see her in the future. It's just, I don't really care that much about the story that they had her in. I do want to see her in the future, though. Great actor and great character. It's just, the story was not that good. But I want to touch on one thing. We did get a reference towards Harley Quinn. While they were talking about bringing Carrie Cutter to the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller said something about her being more crazier than their last inmate, which was obviously a reference towards Harley Quinn. We did see a little bit of Harley Quinn's behind, not that kind of behind, just the back of her face. In the back, I think it was Season 2, or no, it was probably Season 3 when we saw the Suicide Squad, and, she said that, like, little, I forget what she said, but something in the Harley Quinn voice, and everybody had, like, a nerdgasm, and I had a nerdgasm, and everyone had a nerdgasm. It was awesome. We all just nerdgasm all over the TV, because they're like, oh my god, Harley Quinn. But we did get another reference towards her, thank god. Hopefully they bring her back again. But one thing I want to complain about is that they basically said that this Carrie Cutter girl, Cupid, is more crazier than Harley Quinn. What? No, that's not true. Hashtag no. Hashtag no everywhere. No, that just makes no sense. Harley Quinn, who is literally tormented by the Joker and drawn to the Joker, is definitely not less crazier than this stupid Carrie Cutter girl, aka Cupid. Hashtag no. So what did I like about this episode? That would be Tatsu Shashamuro, as I'm trying to say that name. Basically Katana. We do know in the flashbacks he is now in Hong Kong, and we find out that Tatsu gets to use her samurai sword and she beats a shitload of people up just because she's like, oh my god, my husband's dead. Don't worry, her husband did not die. Obviously you already know that unless you didn't watch the episode. But if you didn't watch the episode, then why are you watching this review? Why? So anyway, we get to see her using her katana sword, and it was so badass. She literally took down, I would say, about 10 guys in probably less than 3 minutes. She was just like, cut, double flip backwards, cut. She didn't do any flips, but it was awesome. That was probably the highlight of this episode by far. Let's get into the 2 huge Easter eggs we got. This is pretty much the end of my review, but there are 2 Easter eggs that I definitely have to touch on. The first one being the Adam suit, and they basically at the episode showed, what was it? Okay, so Ray Palmer ends up getting references to the coal mine. He buys the coal mine thanks to Felicity Smoke, who did look very sexy in this episode. She basically helps him earn the rights to this coal mine, and we get to see him typing something on his computer or whatever, and something comes up on the computer saying ATOM, not Adam, it said A.T. So obviously Adam is referencing a bigger sentence, something atomic, circular, atom mama. I don't know. I mean, come on, they didn't actually say it, so that's just my guess. Atomic, circular, atom mama. Okay, so anyway, it was talking about the Adam suit, and we got to see this hologram thing come up from the front of the computer, and it was showing what the Adam suit will eventually look like, and it was so cool. It was awesome. It looked like the Iron Man suit, which makes lots of sense, because we do know that the Adam, Ray Palmer, will be getting a suit in Arrow, but he won't be shrinking down. So this is my guess. Actually, this is what my comic book store owner, his name is Rob, this is what he said. He said that he thinks that the Atom will earn a suit, and that suit will basically be a all-out technology suit. Pretty much he'll be Iron Man. He'll have a suit with tons of gadgets, probably a fully body-covered suit just like Iron Man, and instead of shrinking down, he'll just have all gadgets. And when he finally does earn the power of, shrinking down to the size of an atom, he'll eventually move over to the Flash TV show. But we will get to see him first with, a superhero genre and everything with that whole Atom suit. Because if we didn't know, or if you didn't know, sorry, that Blue Beetle was actually supposed to take his place. It was actually Blue Beetle that they wanted in Atom's place. And of course, Blue Beetle is someone that has a fully armored suit with non-stop gadgets coming out of everywhere. So that's basically what they're giving to Atom. And then they're going to switch him over to his real power, which is shrinking down. And they'll move him to the Flash. So that's probably what they're going to do. I'm almost 100% positive. But that was not the only awesome thing we saw in this episode. We also got to see Captain Boomerang, aka one of the Flash's main villains. And of course, will be another character that will move over to the Flash show probably very soon. When they want to bring in the whole Rogues Gallery, he will definitely be a part of it. Anyway, we got to see him, and we saw his boomerang, Kakachukawa. Anyway, he threw it, it came back, and it hit the guy in the back, and he's dead. We don't know who that guy was, but he said a quote, something about all your work eventually hits back to you. They're making, like, reverse jokes now. Like, what? Does that even make sense? Boomerang jokes? What? Kangaroos. I love kangaroos. Australia. My dad's Australia. What's going on? Anyway, Captain Boomerang looked pretty cool. He sounded awesome. He's so Australian. I love it. I hope he rides in with a kangaroo and beats the Flash up or something like that. I don't want the Flash to die, though. I'd love the Flash. Anyway, we got to see an Arrow vs. Flash preview. Nothing new at all. It's just very small clips. But that episode will appearing on December 2nd, I think December 3rd, because it is a 2-night whole premiere, like an hour event. It's going to be pretty damn awesome. Anyway, that is my review for Season 3, Episode 7, Draw Back Your Bow for Arrow. I give it a 6 out of 10. I want to hear you in the comment section down below. So, if you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. My name is Tommy from ZD Comics, and thank you for watching.